A very good afternoon to you. This is TV Sapientia on Star Times Channel 260. Today is Thursday, the 6th of November 2025. My name is Joe Igbo. In our news headlines this afternoon, the federal government has said it may sell off the 4 state-owned refineries as part of its economic reform strategy to attract investors. All eyes are on Anambra State this weekend as the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) puts finishing touches to preparations for the 2025 governorship election scheduled for Saturday, November 8th. The Senate has approved a maximum of 14 years imprisonment and a minimum of 5 years without the option of fine for anyone found guilty of sexually harassing students in tertiary institutions across the country. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked the Senate to screen and confirm the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Enugu State, Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, to replace Uche Nnaji as Minister of Science, Innovation and Technology. Now the details of the news. The federal government has said it may sell off the 4 state-owned refineries as part of its economic reform strategy to attract investors, boost competition and improve efficiency in the downstream oil sector. The refineries located in Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna have a combined installed capacity of 445,000 barrels per day, but have remained largely dormant for decades, despite repeated turnaround maintenance projects that cost the government billions of dollars. The special advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on energy, Olu Vehenjen, disclosed this during an interview with Bloomberg TV anchor Johanna Beseche on the sidelines of the Abu Dhabi International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference. The refineries are owned by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL. According to Vehenjen, the government's reform agenda under President Bola Tinubu aims to restore market efficiency and transparency, ensuring that the petroleum sector operates on purely commercial terms. The update followed an announcement by the NNPCL that it was seeking technical equity partners capable of managing and operating the Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna refineries at international standards. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reiterated the federal government's preparedness to partner with the United States and other countries, especially to tackle the recurring cases of insecurity. His remarks come amid global debates following U.S. President Donald Trump's response to reports of alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria. Speaking at a ministerial press briefing at the National Press Center in Abuja, the minister described such reports as misinformed and not reflective of reality, insisting that terrorists in Nigeria do not target any particular religion or ethnic group. He emphasized that both Christians and Muslims have suffered from extremist attacks and that Nigeria's security agencies are made up of personnel of all faiths working together to defend the nation. According to the minister, security forces have neutralized over 13,500 terrorists, arrested more than 17,000 suspects, and rescued nearly 10,000 abducted victims through coordinated military operations since President Tinubu took office. The federal government image maker disclosed that more than 5,000 military-grade weapons have been recovered and destroyed, while 20 arms trafficking networks were dismantled in recent months. He added that the federal government has invested billions of dollars in modern defense equipment and increased intelligence funding. The minister further confirmed the arrest of 2 high-profile terrorist leaders, Mahmoud Mohammed Usman and Abubakar Abba, linked to Ansaru, Nigeria's Al-Qaeda affiliate. He said 125 convicted terrorists are currently serving jail terms, while hundreds of others are awaiting trial. The Ebonyi State House of Assembly has issued a 2-week ultimatum to the State Internally Generated Revenue or IGR Board to sanitize its operations and end the harassment of citizens in the guise of revenue collection across the state. The resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance moved by the leader of the House, Kingsley Ikoro, during plenary at the Assembly complex. The session was presided over by the Speaker, Moses Ije Odunwa. Ikoro lamented the activities of unverified individuals and groups allegedly contracted by the IGR board to enforce tax and traffic collections, describing their conduct as lawless and dehumanizing. He said many of these individuals do not have any form of identification or uniform. He urged the House to invite the leadership of the IGR board to explain the mode of engagement of contractors and ensure proper identification of authorized personnel. Similarly, the member representing Ebonyi Northwest, Aloysius Mudu, decried high-level extortion by both revenue collectors and some security personnel, urging the Assembly to exercise its oversight functions. All eyes are on Anambra State this weekend as the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) puts finishing touches to preparations for the 2025 governorship election scheduled for Saturday, November 8. INEC says it has distributed all sensitive and non-sensitive materials across the 21 local government areas of the state, assuring voters of a free, fair, and credible poll. The Commission's Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Queen Agu, confirmed that over 2.5 million registered voters are expected to participate, with security agencies deployed to ensure peace and order before, during, and after the election. Meanwhile, political activities have reached fever pitch as major parties wrap up campaigns across the state. Candidates have pledged to focus on economic growth, youth empowerment, infrastructure, and security, key issues resonating with the electorate. Civil society groups and election observers have also urged voters to come out en masse and exercise their civic rights peacefully. Security agencies have warned against any act of violence or voter intimidation, maintaining that anyone found disrupting the electoral process will face the full weight of the law. Anambra State remains one of Nigeria's most politically vibrant states, and Saturday's poll is expected to be keenly contested. The top contenders to watch in this election include incumbent Governor Chukwuma Soludo of the All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA), George Moralo of the Labour Party, Prince Nicholas Okachukwu of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Jude Ezenwafo of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), John Chukwumangusu of the African Democratic Congress, and Paul Chukwuma of the Young Progressives Party (YPP), among others. Welcome back to the rest of the Sapientia TV News Bulletin at 1 p.m. My name is Joe Igbo. The Senate has approved a maximum of 14 years imprisonment and a minimum of 5 years without the option of fine for anyone found guilty of sexually harassing students in tertiary institutions across the country. The bill, titled Sexual Harassment of Students, Prevention and Prohibition Bill 2025, was presented for concurrence by the Senate leader, Senator Bemi Bamidele, APC, Ekiti Central. Bamidele explained that the bill was designed to protect students from all forms of sexual misconduct and abuse within academic environments, while providing a clear legal framework for enforcement and punishment of offenders. The Senate stated that any person who commits any of the offenses specified in the bill shall be guilty of a felony and upon conviction face a prison term of up to 14 years but not less than 5 years without the option of a fine. It defines sexual harassment to include grabbing, hugging, kissing, rubbing or touching the breasts, hair, lips, hips, or any other sensual part of the body of a woman, displaying, giving, or sending sexually explicit pictures or materials, whistling, winking, making sexual remarks, or stalking a student. The bill clarifies that it shall not be a defense that a student consented to any offense except where both the educator and student are legally married. 79 inmates of the Nigeria Correctional Services Medium Security Custodial Center, Agodi, Ibadan, Oyo State, were released yesterday by the Chief Judge of Oyo State, Justice Iyabo Yerima. Among the inmates released were those awaiting trial on bailable or non-capital offences and had been in custody for more than 4 months. Others were those with capital offences and awaiting trial, but had been in custody for over 2 years, as well as those with serious sicknesses and diseases. It will be noted that the exercise was the third to be carried out by the Chief Judge this year. Justice Laderan Akintola, who represented the Chief Judge, said that her responsibilities include supervising the correctional centers to review deserving cases of people to ensure that it is not congested beyond reasonable limits. He stated that attending to cases is to assist the officers and men of the correctional center in reducing the burden on the limited facility and resources. He also noted the likelihood of spreading infectious diseases among the inmates because of overcrowding. Addressing the released inmates, Justice Akintola admonished them that the discomforts, strains they had experienced within the 4 walls of the correctional center were enough to correct their rascality. He also encouraged them to live within their means and look up to their Maker who created them for a purpose. The Nigerian Army has announced that applications are still ongoing for the Short Service Combatant Commission, inviting all eligible Nigerians, both civilians and serving military personnel, to apply for commission into the Nigerian Army. According to the announcement posted on X, applicants must be Nigerian citizens, male or female, between the ages of 23 and 27 by January 9, 2026. It stated that interested candidates must be physically, mentally, and medically fit in line with the Nigerian Army's standards and will serve only in the Combat Arms and Combat Support Arms unit after successful training and commissioning. The Army further noted that tertiary credentials obtained from 2017 till date will be considered. Applicants are advised to visit the Nigerian Army recruitment portal at www.recruitment.army.mil.ng. Sign up and upload their passport photograph, educational certificates and birth certificates or declaration of age, BVN, NIN, and certificate of state of origin, amongst others. Applicants are also advised to follow the online prompt, complete the free application, and print out an online generated photo slip or card. The Army said all applications must be completed and submitted between Thursday, 9th October and Wednesday, 12th November 2025. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked the Senate to screen and confirm the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Enugu State, Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, to replace Uche Nnaji as Minister of Science, Innovation and Technology. Nnaji resigned from office last month over alleged certificate forgery. The request was contained in a letter forwarded to the Senate and read at plenary yesterday by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. President Tinubu sought for expeditious consideration by the Senate. The Senate referred the request to its Committee of the Whole for immediate consideration. To end the Sapientia news at noon, a recap of the major headlines. The federal government has said it may sell off the 4 state-owned refineries as part of its economic reform strategy to attract investors. All eyes are on Anambra State this weekend as the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) puts finishing touches to preparations for the 2025 governorship election scheduled for Saturday, November 8. The Senate has approved a maximum of 14 years imprisonment and a minimum of 5 years without the option of fine for anyone found guilty of sexually harassing students in tertiary institutions across the country. And finally, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked the Senate to screen and confirm the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice in Enugu State, Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, to replace Uche Nnaji as Minister of Science, Innovation and Technology. That was the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, I am Joe Igbo. Good afternoon and thanks for choosing TV Sapientia.